It's Canberra's 5th week in lockdown, but it's what happens in the next week that will decide when and if the city will gain any freedoms next Friday. An update to the Check In Canberra app, which will automatically notify anyone who has been at an exposure site, is part of an effort to keep the outbreak under control.
We've been encouraging people to look at the exposure sites on the website. We still encourage people to do that, but we've also heard the feedback from people that they would like to be directly notified through the app.
And check-in cards for those who can't access the app are also rolling out.
Each new Check In Canberra card will have its own unique QR code, and customers will simply present it to be scanned using the Check In Canberra business profile.
The changes have been largely welcomed, but many on social media have questioned why the feature has been implemented today and not 12 months ago when the app first launched. There's even more change afoot over the border, as some in regional New South Wales, including Yass, are set to come out of lockdown on Saturday. Despite the changes, the message from the Chief Minister is clear.
If you're watching this from Yass, then I wouldn't be advising moving too far out of your local government area. In fact, I wouldn't be advising doing that at all.
Those entering the ACT from approved postcodes can still do so for essential reasons, with a declaration every 72 hours. But for everyone else, the rules are the same.
And remember this, if you're in an area that's today been lifted from restrictions and from lockdown, and you enter an area that is in lockdown, those stay-home orders then apply to you when you return home.
The ACT won't be following the New South Wales roadmap out of lockdown.
It's a factor, but not the predominant factor. So local conditions, local vaccination rates, local epidemiology will be the major driving force behind our next steps.
15 new COVID-19 infections were recorded in Canberra today, including 8 who were infectious while in the community, while another 5 cases were in quarantine. Of today's numbers, 13 can be linked to existing cases or exposure sites, 9 people are in hospital with COVID-19, 2 of which are in intensive care, 1 is on a ventilator. Concern around testing has been a recurring theme throughout the outbreak, and today was no different. Many people who aren't tested and are unknowingly infected are still presenting to the emergency department, endangering staff and other patients.
We know with this disease, you may in fact become quite unwell quite quickly. This is a highly variable disease that can be mild or can be quite severe.
Canberrans will hear about the next stage of life under lockdown next week when the ACT Chief Minister outlines any changes to restrictions on Tuesday. Vaccination rates and case numbers will be the priority for the government when mapping the path forward, but it's only in the coming weeks that there will be a clearer image of the pathway out of lockdown.
In the simplest possible terms, the next 8 weeks are a race to get as many people fully vaccinated as quickly as possible.
With Canberra expected to reach 50% double-dose vaccinations in the next 24 hours, there is hope the ACT will soon have very high vaccination rates amongst all Canberrans. Madeline Austin, ABC News, Canberra.